Long ago, in the land of Israel, there lived a young shepherd boy named David. He was brave, kind, and loved God deeply. One day, David did something that changed his life forever. He defeated the giant Goliath with just a sling and a stone. After that victory, David was brought into the palace of King Saul. Now, King Saul had a son named Jonathan. Jonathan was strong, noble, and a great warrior. But more than that, he had a heart that recognized truth. The moment Jonathan met David, something special happened. The Bible says Jonathan loved David as his own soul. This was not just friendship. This was a deep bond, loyal, pure, and unbreakable. Jonathan saw something in David. He saw courage, humility, and God's hand upon his life. So Jonathan did something remarkable. He took off his royal robe and gave it to David. He gave him his armor, his sword, his bow, and his belt. In that moment, Jonathan was saying, "I honor you. I stand with you." They made a covenant, a sacred promise of friendship and loyalty. But while their friendship grew stronger, something dark was growing in King Saul's heart. Jealousy. People began to praise David more than Saul. They sang songs saying, "Saul has killed his thousands, but David has killed his tens of thousands." This made Saul very angry. He began to see David not as a servant, but as a threat. Again and again, Saul tried to harm David. He even threw a spear at him, trying to pin him to the wall. David escaped, but the danger didn't stop. Through it all, Jonathan remained loyal to David. He loved his father, Saul. But he also knew David was chosen by God. Jonathan found himself in a painful position. Should he stand with his father or protect his friend? He chose what was right. One day, Jonathan warned David. He said, "My father is trying to kill you. You must be careful." David was heartbroken. "Why would Saul want to kill me?" he asked. "What have I done?" But Jonathan promised to find out the truth. They came up with a plan. David would hide in a field. Jonathan would speak to his father and observe his reaction. If Saul was calm, it meant David was safe. But if Saul became angry, it meant danger. During a royal feast, Saul noticed David was missing. At first, he said nothing. But on the second day, he asked Jonathan, "Why hasn't David come to eat?" Jonathan answered carefully. He asked permission to visit his family. Suddenly, Saul's anger exploded. He shouted at Jonathan and even tried to kill him with a spear. In that moment, Jonathan knew the truth. His father truly wanted David dead. The next morning, Jonathan went out to the field. David was hiding, waiting anxiously. Jonathan took a bow and shot arrows, as they had planned. He told a servant boy, "The arrows are beyond you." This was the signal. It meant David was not safe. After the servant left, Jonathan and David met. And in that moment, their hearts broke. They knew this could be goodbye. David bowed to the ground. Jonathan lifted him up. They embraced and wept together. Two friends, torn apart by circumstances beyond their control. Jonathan said to David, "Go in peace. We have sworn friendship before God. He will be between you and me forever." Even in separation, their bond remained. Jonathan chose loyalty over jealousy. He chose love over power. He knew David would one day become king. And instead of fighting it, he supported it. That kind of friendship is rare. Jonathan never betrayed David. And David never forgot Jonathan. Years later, after Jonathan died in battle, David mourned deeply. He said, "Your love for me was wonderful, more than anything else." This story teaches us something powerful. True friendship is not about gain. It's not about competition. It's about loyalty, sacrifice, and standing by someone, even when it's hard. Jonathan had every reason to see David as a rival. But instead, he chose to be his brother. And David, though hunted and rejected, never stopped honoring Jonathan. In a world where loyalty is often tested, their story reminds us of what real friendship looks like. A friendship that stands in truth. A friendship that honors God. A friendship that lasts no matter the cost.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Stay blessed.